My name's Serena, and I'm the owner and breeder at M&M Companion Retrievers. And we also have Taylor here. She's our head trainer, puppy owner, head trainer, and she'll be running the program from 8 weeks of age from Alpha Lycos Training and Behaviour up in Cairns. So we're from either sides of Australia, but it works well. All right, so here today we're going to be talking about the M&M Companion Retriever Early Learning Puppy Program. So this is a new program that we have commenced. Sorry, the saying it's unstable. So there's a new program that we've started working on, and we're just here to tell you guys about it and share what we're doing. So the Early Learning Puppy Program, it starts with my breeding program, and it runs from birth to 8 months of age. So what the idea of the program is to continue the training and the exposure and socialization that we do in the breeding program, and have the people continuing it when the puppies go home. Because we believe that when pups leave our care at 8 weeks of age, there's still a lot of learning and development, and we want people to have the support and the training in place at the start, so then we're not having to fix up problems after, like, once they're 1 or 2 years of age. We want to tackle all the common puppy problems and get on top of all the training and do it straight away. Then you have that dog that, I guess, your dog that you've dreamed of, the dog that you can take to your kids' soccer games, you can take out for coffee, a well-trained assistance dog, a therapy dog, just a dog that's going to be involved in your life, and you're not going to be embarrassed or frustrated with its behaviour. I'm not saying you won't be, and they still always test us, but we're going to give you every opportunity to get that training and puppy raising right from the start. So it starts with our breeding program, and what we do with our breeding program is we utilise a couple of different breeding programs. So we use the International Working Dog Registry breeding protocol, which is used by assistance dogs agencies across the world, and we use it in combination with the Badass Breeder curriculum. So we take bits that are suitable for us, and we've worked it so, and it's constantly changing and evolving, as any breeding program is, to suit our puppies and our breeding program and what we're trying to achieve. But they're the two that we source most of our information from, and use their protocols, and they're very similar. So the Badass Breeder is an American-based trainer called Jeanette, and she does a lot of work with assistance dogs and therapy dogs and breeding and training them up. So she offers a lot of classes and training for us, which is, I guess, fairly unique in the breeding world, because there's not a lot out there for where we can learn and develop. So it starts with puppies. Oh, so one more person coming in. Yeah. So it just starts when the puppies are 3 days of age. So we start with early neurological stimulation and early scent introduction. And those two things really help with the development of the puppies. So the early neurological stimulation is a series of exercises that help challenge the puppy's brain, and it really helps create resilient puppies, and they're going to be able to adapt to change. And then we put in, so that was created by the military in the US for their super dogs and their training, and it's been developed through there. And we also do early scent introduction, and we do that for the same period. So from 3 days of age for 14 days, they get different smells to help keeping their brain understanding going on, and getting them used to different smells, because smells are just as scary, if not more scary, than things that they're going to come across in the world. So those two things help start the development young. And from there we move on to all our daily exposure and socialization. We follow what the puppies are doing. So it's really important to listen to the puppies and watch them, and see how they're responding. So this is where the one program doesn't fit all, in that each puppy, sorry, this computer, each puppy will develop a little bit differently and will better tolerate stress a little bit differently. So, you know, we place certain objects in their whelping box and let them look at it and see how they interact with it. But we sit with them and monitor them and make sure they're not scared and encourage them through the process. So we're trying to build confidence and resilience in our puppies and letting them learn to problem solve. So this work continues throughout the breeding program, and where our program stands different to others is that we get people involved from day one. So we like the families to be signed up and into the program, and then they get to see the whelping experience and look at in depth and look at all the detail we do with our breeding program. So everything is transparent. You'll get videos, photos, you get multiple updates. I can't help myself, but we'll have a private Facebook group, and you'll see what we're doing, and we'll have live videos as well, so you can get to know the puppies as a whole, as a litter. It does come with some risks because the puppies there can be health issues as they progress, and you know, something can happen that we just don't have any control of, but that's also life. And we don't attach. You're not going to be selected with the puppy until closer to 8 weeks of age. So we're getting to know the litter as a whole and not an individual. As we work through the program, the puppies are exposed to as much as possible, but we do it as safely as possible in a way that we're navigating their different fear periods, so that we're not pushing them into something they're not comfortable with, and we're not scarring them. But we're really wanting to expose them to many different sounds, objects, different novel objects, things that move, different surfaces, different smells, different people. And so we do that by slowly introducing people, putting new objects into their room. And then if they, you know, if there's, like, I'm in the country, so there's not going to be any traffic noise. So we'll put stuff on YouTube and get them really exposed to it. You know, glass shattering, you know, airplane. And then so that everything that we are doing with the puppies here, we ask it then to be repeated again as they develop, because it doesn't mean that it's going to be foolproof, but it's going to help them learn how to navigate different things as they come. So then we want them to recover from being startled, and we want them to learn that things are okay, they're not going to hurt them, and that they've just got to build their confidence and get over them. And then every week we will have video calls. So we'll have family video calls on a Sunday where we all just get together and have a chat and watch the puppies and see what we're doing. So you really get to know everything that we're doing with the puppies, and it's really special. So you don't just have 1 or 2 photos by the time the pup's 8 weeks of age. You're going to have hundreds and hundreds of photos and videos and really know what they're doing. So from there, our puppies are selected based on their temperament. We do the About Us breeder puppy temperament evaluation, and that tells us the traits of the puppy. So we have stable traits and non-stable traits, and we use that to help match the puppy to the right family. So a lot of our dogs are working dogs, either assistance dogs or therapy dogs, and that helps us pick the suitable dog for their family, depending on what their role is going to be. But it's equally as important for family dogs and having the right match for your family. So if you're an active family and you're wanting to go out all the time and have a high drive dog that's going to want to chase ball and run after you, you're going to want a dog that's like that. You don't want a lazy sod that's just going to sleep all day. And same goes for the reverse. If you're wanting, you know, a quiet life and a dog that's chilled and not too high drive and not too persistent, then we can help match that based on the tests that we do, and all that is available to everyone as well, and then we sit down and discuss. So that's the breeding program, and then we transition into the early learning puppy program, And this is where Taylor really steps in and takes over. And so I'll let Taylor talk to you guys about that program.
Thank you, Serena. So our puppy program pretty much just plays back to back with what Serena's been doing as a puppy through the puppy stage. So there's many different fear impact periods that we want to deal with, so then there isn't any behavioral issues in the future. As a dog trainer, I see more damaged dogs as puppies that grow into adults from the period of 0 to 16 weeks old. What happens in that period is massive, and what happens in the first year of their life is massive. So we go through things like how to prepare for the puppy, what to buy, how to get everything set up, socialization, exposure programs, enrichment programs, as well as your beginner to intermediate training. Now, I personally have one of Serena's puppies, as you just saw before, and I can tell you, hands down, best choice I ever made. I have 2 dogs, one from a normal breeder and one from Serena. My other dog is a coolie. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's a high drive working dog. So he's a little bit crazy anyway, but he had 0 exposure. And as a dog trainer, I can't take my dog to dog training classes without him freaking out. He can come, do a trick or so, and then he has to go back in the car because he just shuts down. He does not like people look at him too long. He doesn't like people touching him. Then you have Finnan, who within the first, it was under 16 weeks, so you meant to let your dog meet 100 people, different people in the first 16 weeks of their life. Finnan had met almost 150 by the time he was 12 weeks old. I took him to 4-wheel drive events where people were revving engine, people were banging things, crashing things, and he did not flinch, not a worry in the world. The wind comes in the wrong direction for Obi, and he freaks out of it coming through the car. So the difference there is incredible. They also come from Serena's program installed with most of their markers. So I drove from South Australia to Cairns with Finnan and Obi in the car. Finnan's the Goldador. And I put him in a crate every time we pulled over to go to the toilet, instantly peeing on command, back in the car, continue to go. He already had his positive marker in. So yes, you said yes to him and his eyes lit up and he was ready. He knew he did something right. He had his release cue free in there. When you get a puppy, it is a difficult situation. So having something that is already prepared for what you need it to do is life-changing. It makes the first 12, well, we're at 6, but first 12 months of life really easy. We'll also be doing your weekly, so we'll start off with weekly calls, then move to fortnightly and then monthly calls to check in with all of our clients to see how they're going with their training, as well as you get your weekly updates on each content. So we start with how to set up the house and then move to your exposure. And then after a while, it will just be training to 8 months old.
Yeah. So what we've done, Taylor's been my trainer to train up Ella as my assistance dog. And Ella's still in training at 9 months of age. And basically the program that is what we've been doing with Ella and what we've been doing with some of our previous litters, but it's at the quality that you are going to be getting the training, the exposure and socialization that's needed for assistance dogs. That are needed, and assistance dogs are dogs that help people with disabilities, and they can have public access out to the community. So the program is designed to develop a puppy to that level. And that's going to be regardless of whether you're going to be having an assistance dog, whether you have a therapy dog, or whether it's a family dog and, you know, they're a part of your family. So this program is really, that's where it starts to really be different, is that we're establishing the puppy raising for you to do it by yourself, but well, as by yourself, what I mean, you know, you've got like the organizations like the Guide Dogs Australia and Assistance Dogs Australia that have the puppy raising programs. So this, when I say by yourself, I mean it's your dog, you own it, and you're doing the training, and we're there to give you the support and coach you through how to do it. And so all the like Taylor was mentioning how Finn had met 150 people by the 12 weeks. There's a way to do it that's safe and not going to stress the puppy too much. And so we'll show you how to do all that. We'll also guide you through all their fear periods. So they go through many different fear periods as they grow up. And they continue into teenage years. And we wonder why these dogs are being naughty or all of a sudden not listening. They're going through a developmental stage.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Got you.
And they also may be going through a fear period. So we teach you how to look out for that, because it can be very easy to scar a puppy. And this is the same for the breeding program in the first 8 weeks. If we push them through a situation that they're not comfortable with, and they're in a fear period, they will all of a sudden just shut down. So what, like an example I like to use, like with being able to identify the fear periods, is with one of the litters, you know, they're used to things flying over their heads, noise, tapping, things going around, not a problem. I think it was about 6 weeks of age. And then all of a sudden I just moved my hand over the whelping box doing something. And one of the puppies just absolutely just scared. And then we help them recover. And he was the only one doing it. And he went through that fear period, you know, maybe for a day earlier than everybody else, and everybody else followed. So what we want to do is make sure that they recover, that they feel safe, and that they know that they're not going to be hurt, and they come for us for attention. And they come to us for attention because we comfort them. And we really have a human focused bond with our dogs. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. So that we start at day 3 with body handling and massage with our puppies. And we do that every single day. And we encourage you guys to do it, because you get a dog then that tolerates being handled. It doesn't matter, doesn't mind going to the vet. They're going to sit on your lap and cuddle you. I mean, they're Max's puppies, so they're going to sit on your lap and cuddle you anyway, because he's a massive sook. So they're going to cuddle you anyway, but we really encourage that bond, because we want our dogs to be helping humans and helping people. So whether, you know, it's a PTSD assistance dog or a mobility assistance dog or a therapy dog at school. So we've got a couple of dogs starting to work in the schools to help students and things like that. Or it's a companion dog, but I call it unofficial assistance dog at home. When you all need that little bit of extra support and love, these guys are just designed to do that. Did I cut you off, Taylor?
No, but I will say it's also a really good thing to have a one-stop shop in terms of you've got your breeder, you've got your trainer, and we have a little bit more in knowledge base than just those 2 things as well. As I've worked through my career in the animal industry, I've had so many people that are so confused with their puppies because they're hearing stuff from their vet, their breeder, their person at the pet store, their trainer, and these aren't all the same matching opinions. And when you don't have matching opinions, you get a confused person. So if we're able to help you with not just the training, not just what you're going to expect from these puppies, but also things like what vaccinations to get, what like pharmaceutical stuff, all that sort of stuff, if we're able to give you all that information, so then you can just ask us, so you don't have to ask other people, or other people give you all this information, it makes it a lot easier, and it makes you feel a little bit more settled about the situation, because it is really confusing having a puppy. There is a lot of different things that happen. They do weird things sometimes, and it's if you've got that bond from the time that the dogs are born to 8 months, to be able to have a conversation with someone you can be comfortable with because you've been talking to us for that long, is an amazing thing.
It really is, and that was really evident with our last litter. And we would all get together for video calls to discuss how the puppies were going and give them some training advice and things like that. And, you know, some people are pulling their hair out. You know, the puppy just won't stop jumping up on me, or it's biting. You know, all these normal puppy behaviors, but you feel alone when you're stuck at home with your puppy and it's being naughty and it's doing these things and you don't know how to deal with it. You feel like you're the one that's responsible, or your dog's a bad one. But when we all get together and talk about what's happening, everybody can relate and everybody's going through the same thing. So that's where that's important, to be able to know that you're not alone. And especially if you're doing owner handler training as well for an assistance dog, you've got that constant resource of Taylor and myself and everyone does for those whole 8 months. You don't have to ask Google.
Oh,
I don't know how many times I ask
so
Google.
much information. YouTube is the worst. Just never YouTube things about your dogs. It's never good. It's like when you Google a symptom of yours and you instantly have cancer. It's cancer for sure.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. And then as well as like the group sessions and things, you'll have options to have one-on-one sessions with Taylor in order to combat any behavioral problems or anything that's popping up between you and your dog. Because we do understand that each dog develops differently and each human is going to learn differently as well, because really we're teaching the dog and we're teaching the humans on how to raise this dog as well. So everybody trains differently. Everyone has and different times to put in and things like that. And so you have times to problem solve things with Taylor as well as weekly tasks of what you need to do. You know, your training schedule will be broken down. You know, my goal with Ella was, I need things in simplified versions for me because I can't function without knowing what I need to do each day. So, and then having to make that decision myself was too hard. So Taylor, bless her, would I get my training program, it's broken down into little compartments. And if I get 5 minutes a day, that's great. You know, so yeah, it's just reinforcing all the daily behaviors and things like that, but a little bit goes a long way. And so we'll be checking in and encouraging you and helping you through those frustrating times like Taylor has with me. She's been invaluable, honestly invaluable with raising Miss Ella. And I think I would have probably given up by now, to be honest, to be truth.
Smart girl, and you're a good trainer. So
so that's our program. And well, that's it in a nutshell. There's obviously going to be a lot more involved in it when we start going through it, and if we sit down, we can show you what go through what you're needed. So not everyone is going to want to do the program or going to need to do the program. Obviously we encourage it because we want everybody to have a puppy of their dreams that they can do what they want with. But you don't need to do the program to get a puppy. You'll still have the if you want to take the puppy home in 8 weeks and utilize your own trainers, and I'm not selling my program here, but anyway, then that's fine. You still get that awesome experience of getting to know all the puppies and watching our breeding program and how we introduce. And then the same goes for people that are going to be doing extra training for assistance dogs or therapy dogs. We'll then help you liaise with your trainers, make sure we're on the same page. There may be some overlap, so we'll look at reducing any overlap in the training and working together as a team to get that dog trained up for what you need it to be trained up for. So yeah, we really just take on each person's needs and work with them to get a program that's suited for them.